Good morning, everybody. Well, uh, let's see, 3 more days till Halloween. Today is October the 27th, and today is my late Aunt Patty's birthday. Patty died earlier this year, so this will be her first birthday in heaven. So, but what do you do on Halloween? I always take a week's vacation during the week of Halloween. Just so happens Halloween falls on a Monday this year, so I will be starting my vacation on that day. I usually have anywhere between 75 and 100 trick-or-treaters. I remember one year, a couple of years ago, I ran out of candy. So, you know the little crystal light things that you put in bottled water? I had a whole bunch of those in a canister, and I started giving those out. Because, you know, I always keep my candy in a crystal bowl on the coffee table, the candy that I like. And then I have this great big red bowl, literally this big, that I fill with candy for the trick-or-treaters. And so that year I gave all that candy away. I gave all my candy away and ended up giving my crystal light away. So this year, and I usually buy candy, you know, that I like, that so that if I have any left over, I'll eat it myself. But I don't think I'm going to do that this year. I think I'm going to go with the cheaper version and buy the little gumballs. I don't eat gumballs, you know, but you can get those by the great big bag, and they're a lot cheaper. And I'd like to, if they got some good sales at Walmart on their candy, I'll get it there. But we had talked about getting our Halloween candy at Rose's. I'm not sure yet. But if we do go to Rose's, Rose's is the only place that I can find a candy called Mary Jane's. How many of you all remember Mary Jane's? Not you younger generation people that think of it as whatever you smoke. This is the candy Mary Jane's. And I used to buy that stuff all the time when I was a little girl. And at Rose's, they still sell it, still in the same wrapper that you used to buy it in when you was a child and everything. And I love those Mary Jane's. But like I said, Rose's is the only place I can find it at. And something else that I haven't seen in a long time either are the little candy bars, Bit-O-Honey. I used to love those Bit-O-Honeys. And to me, Bit-O-Honey and Mary Jane's are a little bit similar. So, because whenever I think of Mary Jane, I think of a Bit-O-Honey. But anyway. So I'm looking forward to all my little trick-or-treaters on Monday night. And I might even do a video, you know, have the camera set up in the doorway for all the little trick-or-treaters that come to the door. And so that's going to be fun. I'll take my vacation. Other than that, I probably won't do anything on my vacation aside from sit back and rest. You know, since I was in the hospital a couple of years ago, I don't have a whole lot of energy, so I can't do a whole lot. I can well, luckily with it just being me here alone, I don't really have that much to do. But say, like, if I want to dust and vacuum, I'll have to do one, then sit down for 10 or 15 minutes, then get up and do the other. And that's a bad way to feel when you're only 53 years old. So anyway, people that age should not be feeling the way I do. But I guess I'm luckier than some that can't even do as much as I do. That's neither here nor there. What do you think about baby Lisa? For those of you who don't know, baby Lisa went missing back several weeks ago from her home. They showed on TV about this is how the story goes, that somebody had came in during the night through baby Lisa's window and she just disappeared. So they showed on the news about how difficult it would be for somebody to climb through that window. Now, this is a ground floor window, first story window. And so anybody would be able to get through that window. So people now are suspecting that, first they said that they were suspicious of the parents. That the parents have stopped cooperating. Then they said the parents started cooperating. Now they're saying the parents are not cooperating, but yet the parents are cooperating with the police this morning because they're going to have a whole team over at their house. So, but people tend to exaggerate stuff, and people tend to jump to the wrong conclusions. And let me tell you why I say this. I don't know what happened in this case. But I would be more apt if I was. They keep saying the mother, the mother. They're suspicious of the mother. The mother's lying. The mother has something to hide. I don't see it that way because I've seen the interviews that they do with them. The mother is the one crying her eyes out, and you could tell those are real tears, not like Susan Smith up there fake crying. These are genuine tears that this woman's crying. The father is what bothers me because he'll just stand there looking down. He barely looks at his wife. He's just standing there. And the one thing that bothers me is when she is constantly crying. She said at one point, she said it's like they came in and they came into her room and she just disappeared. And she was crying when she said that. And the husband always makes a point to say, and they took all our phones so we couldn't call anybody. Yet the phones were supposedly in the kitchen. This is what I don't understand. If the cell phones were in the kitchen, then somebody would have had to come through baby Lisa's room, get the baby, go through the house, get the cell phones, and knowing where the cell phones were, and go out the door. Well, the husband said he came home from his job and saw the lights were on. At first he said he went back and talked to his wife for a little while and then said, you know what, when I came home I noticed the lights were on and the door was open. What's going on? Why are you coming home in the middle of the night and notice your lights are on and the back door's open? Why are you going to go back there and sit and have a conversation and then say, oh, by the way, I noticed the lights were on and the back door was open in the middle of the night? That's a little suspicious. And if he had just come home and all this was already done, well, what was his cell phone still doing at home? Why didn't he have it with him? Why did he leave his cell phone at home to be stolen? He said they took all our phones. Well, if he was at work and if he was out of the house, it would only make sense he would still have his cell phone with him. He could have called somebody right then. I don't understand. He looks more suspicious than she does. But people naturally want to jump on the bandwagon and think the worst about everything. So last night they was talking on the news and they said that a lot of people are wondering, you know, why is this woman getting a makeover while her baby's missing? And I thought to myself, I've not noticed a makeover. So they showed a side-by-side of her. And then, you know, the news reporter said, well, you know, use your own judgment. But in the one photo was right after the baby went missing. The woman had her hair pulled back and had a band around her head. In the second photo, she had her hair pulled up with a rubber band right here. And people, just because her hair is different, they're saying that she had her hair done. When would you have time to have your hair done? You know, some people still do their own hair. I can still comb my hair and put a rubber band in right here if I want to. I don't have to take the time to go to a salon or to have somebody else do it for me. People are just too quick to gossip and to judge. And just like they were showing some kids that had disappeared and were missing, like they showed what is it, Elizabeth Smart, and they showed her picture, and then they had found alive, and then they showed Karen Horman, never found, and some other kids that were never found, and that's just sad. And they say that baby Lisa, that the cadaver dogs came in and hit on something in the bedroom, on the bedroom floor. Well, it could be that one of the experts was saying last night that if there had been death in that room before or under that house or wherever, even years ago, that was still in the carpet or whatever, a dog could hit on that. So there could have been somebody that died in that house before. Or the one thing that came to mind when they was talking about that is that maybe the baby died in the bed with the mom. Maybe she rolled over on the baby and she's just afraid to tell anybody. Maybe the husband got rid of the baby. I don't know. That's just a guess. I don't know. But honestly, I would be, if it come down to it to where this woman has something to do with her own baby's disappearance, I would be very surprised. I would be shocked because I don't think she had anything to do with it. Like I said, I suspect the father more than I do the mother. They're so quick to say, too, that she was seen on the day that her baby went missing in Walmart with an unknown guy buying a big box of wine. Now, being in Walmart buying a big box of wine with a guy does not make you a whore and an alcoholic. Come to find out, yes, she bought a box of wine, and it was her brother that she was with. So it wasn't a strange man, it was her brother. Well, now that they find out it's her brother, they're saying, well, what was her brother doing over there? Has anybody questioned her brother? People are grasping at straws. Just stop it. It doesn't make any sense. And I think that the reason that some people, as they say, don't want to cooperate, and I'm not saying don't cooperate, but they just want their privacy. Just the media hounds, and everybody needs to leave them alone. You know, quit going to their door and accusing them of this, that, and the other, and every time they walk out the door, you're snapping their picture. Some people don't want to be in the spotlight like Casey Anthony. So, you know, I think it should be between them, the investigators, and the police. And yeah, keep it on the news, you know, so you keep the face out there, but you ain't got to hound these people to death. But like I said, if I'm going to suspect one of them, I'm suspecting the dad. People are always too quick to suspect a mother and everything. Just like the little Chinese baby. I know most of you have seen the video of the little Chinese girl that got ran over in the streets in China. Twice. Well, basically 3 times. And nobody came to help. This child was walking in the middle of the street and turned around and got hit by a truck. And it showed it on the camera thing. Where the van, it was like a van, and the van stopped. And the child was laying under it, and then the van just went again and ran over the child the second time with the back wheel. Then another car came by, boom, boom, ran right over the child, kept going. Showed a boy on a bicycle. He went around the child, looked down at the child, kept going. Somebody walked around the child and kept going. Then this one woman came over and she looked down and she picked the child up, and the child just fell forward. Then they finally picked the child up, took the child to the hospital. And the child was still alive, but she died, I think, the next day. She later died. And everybody was so quick to say, where was the mother? Where was the father? Maybe it was the father's visitation. Maybe daddy had the little girl out. See, nobody wants to blame the dad. They put everything on the mother, and that's just not right. Fathers, parents, this is what I choose to say when I'm going to say, well, you know, I wouldn't say, well, where's the mother? I'll say, well, where were the parents? You know, both of them have equal responsibility. Where were the parents? In this day and time, you know, you don't have the little merry homemakers, so to speak, that stay home with the kids all the time. The mother works too. You got the mother working, you got the father working. Both parents have to take equal responsibility. So anyway, I'm just ranting and raving over that because that pisses me off whenever somebody says, where was the mother? But anyway. Oh, one more thing. Lindsay Lohan, you know, she got that slap on the wrist, and they made her go and do some community service at a funeral home, or, excuse me, a morgue. But they said she won't be seeing any dead bodies. She'll just be cleaning and sweeping and dusting. And on her first day there, she was late, like by an hour and a half. And people seem surprised. Of course she's late. She knows they're not going to do anything. And they keep saying, well, they can't really arrest her because of the overcrowding in jails. You can't tell me that all this time Lindsay Lohan's been in trouble, that they've not arrested somebody and put somebody in that jail almost on a daily basis. They could put her ass down there too. All these average Joes that they pick up off the street and throw them in there. What, it's not too overcrowded for them, but it's too overcrowded for her? That's why Lindsay does what Lindsay does, because Lindsay knows Lindsay can. And every time, how many times has she violated her probation and gone to court, and then they put her back in jail, and then she's bailed out again? How many times can you be bailed out? Then she's just going to violate that probation. It's going to be a never-ending saga. It makes no sense at all. And this is why she does what she does. And her dad has been arrested. I think he was arrested, if I heard the story correctly. But Joe was telling me this morning that I think Lindsay Lohan's dad stalked his girlfriend or smacked her or beat her up or something, and then ended up jumping out of a window to get away, and he was arrested. I said he must be high on something too. So, and then this is what everybody's going to say. When this story gets out and everybody hears about Lindsay Lohan's dad, they're going to say, well, the apple don't fall far from the tree. No wonder Lindsay does the things she does. That's not right either. You're your own individual person. You can make up your own mind. Just because her daddy does something don't mean she's got to go out and do it. It makes no sense to blame everything on the parents. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. But anyway, because and especially with grown people's got their own minds and everything else. So anyway, well, I guess that's all my rants and raves and beefs for the day. And it's about 7:30 in the morning. See, I've already been up, I've already been out, and I've already been about, and I've already killed another spider outside on my patio. I took some pictures of him too. I might post them later on. But there must be a nest around somewhere, so I'm getting ready to pull up my sleeves and go looking for that spider nest. Anyway, until next time, bye-bye.